We're looking at very spring conditions with very rotten honeycombed snow cone type ice. You can see when the water starts to look greenish blue that it's all honeycombed, and you will be railroading and having pressure of the breaking ice against the side of the airboat. So we're going to take a run out and see what that's like. Sidewall stiffeners and thick sidewalls is what you see here. That's just meant for dealing with ice conditions that we're seeing here today. Honeycombed ice, very poor conditions here, and so we're going to start up and run, and you can see what its effect is on the airboat. This is almost as rotten as ice gets. So when it's a little firmer, it usually puts more pressure on the sidewall of the airboat than it will today. Airboat, that's when you tend to sink down and the airboat keeps going straight because of the rotten ice conditions. What we're going to do is we're going to power up a little bit faster, and then you rise up on the ice, and then you can turn a lot more easy, and we'll try and show that as we go along. As you can see, with the honeycomb really late spring ice, you can see how much it wants to hold an airboat in a straight line. So we call that railroading, and that is the effect of it, where you don't just kick over and make your turn. It tends to hold you just like you're on a railroad track. Sometimes when you get into that railroading situation, you sometimes need to slow right down and get near the shore where the ice can break off, and then you can turn in the actual water if the conditions permit. Otherwise, you have to take care of your railroading situation way out on the ice where you can get some speed and make your gradual turns so you don't end up being forced right into the shoreline. As you can see today, the ice normally always melts along the shoreline edge. So if you have 20 feet of open water, then you can just go over there and turn around if you're in that railroading situation. Sometimes if you've got an area that you've already traveled across and you've broken the ice up, if you have to adjust your positioning, then that would be a good area to adjust your positioning in if the ice is really holding you in tight quarters in a more confined area. We'll go over to this and just try and turn in that that condition just so we can film it and show you what it's kind of like. As you can see by this ice, they're long shards of ice, and it's about 4-inch thick ice, but it's called honeycombed ice. And that's what those long shards are, is everything, it's just like it's a big honeycomb. And so that's what makes it very dangerous to walk on, because those columns of ice just break along the honeycomb line. And so they're just like all kinds of little splinters forming a big mass, and that's your lake ice, and that conducts the green color up. So when you see this green color, you know it's real unsafe ice, even if there's been nobody out here. Another safety reminder, if you're in an airboat and you're trying to pick somebody that's through the ice, in this type of ice you can pull fairly close to the people, but on this other type of ice that's thicker, you want to go completely around the person, 30 or 40 feet out, to break the ice up, and then you can come up to them, because the ice will tend to come up against them and you could hurt them. The ice can act as a bit of a guillotine, so you want to prepare the area. Don't just drive right up to somebody to try and pick them out of the water. One of the things that usually happens is the wind blows the ice off the lake. It gets honeycombed like that, and the first high wind, all the ice just blows off the lake and piles up on the shoreline. So we'll show you also, we'll go along the shoreline and we'll show signs of that already happening, and just how a lake does thaw out, which is typically from the bulrushes outward and from the bottom up in this honeycomb configuration that we're seeing today. Airboat this time of year. Now there's many craft that can transition across this type of conditions safely, which would be hovercrafts, various manufacturers of airboats. But the one thing that we provide, which is I think uniquely safe, is the all aluminum construction airboat. And because at this time we're faced with the thawing conditions where you're not just running on solid ice, after a while you're breaking ice. and you're pounding through ice, and you get that weight of the ice on the sidewalls of the airboat. And so we've chosen to go with an all welded aluminum hull with special sidewall stiffeners, full-sized level flotation compartments down each side of the boat, which adds a terrific amount of strength. And we've doubled and tripled up on our T-bar on the bottom to make an actual ice airboat. It's not just an airboat. It's not meant for the swamps, although it'll do swamps, but it's designed as an ice airboat.